Hello everyone, my name is Amy and I am doing a video today to share my junk journal that I've been working on, and I'm happy to say that I have this journal this far, and because I'm not an experienced junk journaler, I am learning, and I acquire a lot of inspiration from Pinterest. I love Pinterest. Absolutely love Pinterest. And I do buy a lot of like junk journal papers, digital papers. I use a lot of those. And I've been acquiring a few odds and ends for a little over a couple years now, but not really using them that much because, didn't know how to use them. But I knew that I wanted to learn how to do those things, if that makes sense. But anyway, today I wanted to do a video just showing my progress on my actual first complete journal. Well, it's not complete. My first put together journal that I am planning on completing. And so today I'm just working on putting some pockets in here because I know how to do that. So, and as I progress and I learn new things, then I will be able to move forward. So I just wanted to share it and get some feedback from everyone that watches my video. So if you are watching my video, thank you. And hopefully I will be able to continue to upload on a weekly basis, because I definitely love working in my junk journal. I am obsessed. So, moving forward, this is where my journal is at this point. I did the outside binding. I was going to put beads on it, but decided against it because I don't really have the right kind of beads that would work on here. I actually did some polymer clay beads that didn't turn out the way I wanted, so I was like, I want to move forward with this journal, so I'll go ahead and do it without beads this time. But in the meantime, I am shopping for beads that would work on the spine of a journal because I love that effect. And then this is the back, which coordinates with this backing paper here. This is a card that I created using AI, and this is a little paper flower that I made with some die cuts, and then this is some like ribbon. I'll show you what it looks like. Like this. I've got one that's out of the packaging here somewhere. So it comes in packaging like this. There's 3 of these rolls in a pack. And I think it's called, let me put my glasses on. I think it's called chiffon. I was hoping to get some silk. I got this off Temu, so a lot of the information is in, actually this came from Madrid, but I don't see the name of this, but I'm almost sure it's called chiffon. But I just love it. It's so dainty. It's just so, it's not silk, but it's still very elegant. And so I just took and folded it like this with my embroidery thread. I pulled up through there, and then I would just fold it like this, and then bring my needle up through there, and then back down, and then I'd fold it again and bring it back up through there. And so that's how I got, it's kind of like a running stitch. If I can, I will leave a link to this. It's just gorgeous, and I love the color, but I think you can get different colors too. So, and there's my little embroidery flower, and I just inked around this little card. I think I did back it with some paper. I backed this with some box. So this was just a printable, but I think I got this online, or I could have made this one, because I do play around with Procreate. And so moving on to the inside, I did cover the back with some linen. So this is a piece of brown linen that I have because I cross stitch, and I just love this color brown. And then this fabric here I got at Hobby Lobby. I forget what it's called, but I'll leave it in the description what it's called. And so moving on to the inside, I have 4 signatures that I've sewn in, and each signature has about 11, anywhere from 9 to 11 pages. So I covered the inside with a piece of scrapbook paper that I got from a 12 by 12 pack that my daughter gave me. Let me go grab it. I absolutely love this pack. She just gave it to me. She had bought it for herself and decided she didn't want it, but it has all of these in there and more. I don't think the back has any, but what you see on front is not all that's in there. There's just so many different ones. Like there's a gray. I just love this pack, and it seems it just goes on forever. I've used quite a bit out of here. So there's some maroon. I actually was thinking about using the maroon. There's some maps in there. There's the brown that I used. Or is that a different one? Yeah, that's a different brown. It's rulers. There's some tickets, which is really library cards, I think. Which is really cool. There's only one that you could actually cut out of there. I love library cards. Anything to do with library. As a matter of fact, I have a junk journal kit in my Etsy cart that I plan on doing after I get this one further along. But this book, it just has so many beautiful, I was like, are you sure? Look, there's some postcards that you can actually cut out. Fussy cut. Bingo cards, I think. But it just goes on and on. So that's where I decided to use that brown, because it kind of coordinated with some of the printables that I did in AI. As you can see, when I was gluing this down, I didn't leave it open to dry, and it kind of glued to one of my signatures. But anyway, we'll move forward. There's the back of that. There's obviously several things that I have noticed at this point of my progress that I would do differently next time. Like this looks like it's upside down. So, I mean, it's pretty, but it looks upside down to me, the design. So there's some coffee dyed paper I did, just a page out of a book that did I purchase that one at the library? I went to the library the other day, and they had a whole section right in the front, just full of books that they had for sale for like $1.25, for like 25 cents. I got a whole bunch of magazines. Let me show you some of the things that I got. But here are some music books that were there. Look, 25 cents. Playing the recorder, so it has some music pages in it that I can just dress or even just use as a book page. Love the size of that. Jackson Brown music sheets. Oh, they just had a ton of music books. And then I paid $1.25 for this book. This is Biology and Classification of Dwarf Mistletoe. Oh, 74. So check your library. I would have never dreamed that they would have had books, especially older books. And I think I've actually used some of these pages in this journal. I think this right here. So there was that one, and then there was this one, The World of Terraniums. Charles. Originally $65. I certainly didn't pay that much for it. I think I paid $1.25 for it. But it just has some really cool old photos and drawings in here of terraniums. Not too long ago, we just went through a phase where people were really into creating probably saying it wrong, terrariums. Look at that, it looks like a 70s. I was going to look at the date on here. Let's see what the date of this book is. 75, copyright 1975. So that was really cool, and really good sized book. Now these were really fun. These are some just like short stories, magazines. I paid $0.25 for each one, but I think they're either in German or I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you recognize what language that is. But look at the page colors. Probably shouldn't show that, but yeah, so I just got a whole bunch of these at the library. So check your library. You never know what you might find for sale for $0.25. I was just, because I had made up my mind every week I'm going to go and search and just collect stuff. So that is probably where. Now I did get a book at another place at it's called the Garage Sale Store, and I just loved the cover. If I can remember, I'll show it towards the end of the video. But these are some printables I got off of Etsy, and if I can remember the name of the shop, I'll leave it in the description. The thing with these printables was they were portrait, and I needed them to be landscape. So some of them in here they look upside down. And so what I'm doing today is I'm just going through and finding the ones that look upside down. And not that I put them in upside down, it's just because they're a portrait, they turned out that way. This is just from a magazine. Here's a pocket that I've already added. Just some, this is drawing paper I got from the dollar store, came in a pack. And I think I've ripped the book up already, but I only paid $1.25, and I got like this whole pad of paper, drawing paper. And the dogs are barking. Let's see, I think it's down here. Oh, here's the cover, drawing pad at the Dollar Tree. I paid $1.25 for it. And then the other one I think I used for backing the covers. No drawing pad or book is safe with me because I will always use the cardboard on the back for something. I forgot, I need to turn the ringer off on my phone. But let's see, there's 30 sheets in the drawing, and then this one is a scribble pad and had 60 sheets in it, and I just love the color and the delicacy of it. And this is the other one. It's just like thin, I don't know what you would call it. It's just like newspaper paper. Love it. And I only paid $1.25 for it. And then there's another printable from Etsy. Now see, here's one, and it would, you know, it's a portrait, and obviously then it's upright, right? But when you look at it this way, it looks upside down. So I'm planning on, I've already started this pocket that I'm going to put here. So it's not so in our face. This is from, this actually came through the mail. This, I just loved how it, the writing on it. Here's another printable that I purchased off Etsy. That's the bottom of, I think, this page. There's another one of those printables, and I think this one will be okay. I don't have to worry about it being upside down. This one's okay. Another piece of that drawing. This was in a magazine. I just loved the colors, and I just thought that was just so pretty. Another printable that I did some stamping on. Another printable. The top part of that page in that book. Oh, this is a book that I got from the thrift store. It's The Art of Homemaking. It's a really interesting book. I'll share it. Maybe if I can remember, I'll share it at the end. Coffee dyed paper that I did some inking on. There's that one that I need to trim that edge off. But if I put a side pocket or something on there, I can just cover it up, and that gives me some extra landscape there. Maybe I'll sew some lace there. I don't know. And then that's the outside of that first signature. These are the ones, the images that I created in AI. And then that's the second signature. Some coffee dyed paper. This is a printable off of Etsy. Just more coffee dyed paper. This is a drawing that I did in Procreate. There's one of those terrarium pages from that magazine. This is some paper that I ink dyed with Tim Holtz ink. I really liked the color and how it turned out. More of that terrarium printable. This is some of that paper that I got at the Dollar Tree. This is a printable. More of paper from the drawing pad. More coffee dyed paper. They used a little bit of a stencil on there. Another printable. I did purchase the larger jelly plate, but I haven't used it yet, so maybe I'll do a video and do some of that. This is a printable, and then the outside of the second signature, and the beginning of the third one. More coffee dyed paper. I'm not sure what book that came out of. A Place for Everything. Maybe that's still that Homemaker's book. There's that newspaper drawing paper that I got at the Dollar Tree. Another part of that advertisement that came through the mail. I love the way, I don't know, there's just something about the spacing of the wording and the type of paper it is. And the black and white. I love black and white. There's a page out of that Terrarium book. Some writing space, coffee dyed paper. Here's a page that's upside down that I plan on putting a pocket or something in there. This is I think this is one I created. Did I create this one? No, I don't think I created this one. I think I purchased this one off Etsy. More of that drawing paper. I used embroidery floss to sew my signatures in. A color that coordinated. Another printable. Some more coffee dyed paper. I've saved some onion skins. I'm going to try some onion skin paper dyeing. Terrarium. More of that ad that came through the mail. More of that drawing paper. Some coffee dyed paper. the outside of the third signature. I did a little grunging on that one. The first page of the last signature, more coffee dyed. Here is a page that I placed inside. I think I made this printable in Procreate. Here is a tag that I was watching Sarah Lee Armstrong's journal, and she had done something similar to this, and it has a pocket underneath with just some little writing paper that I put together. But I just love the ideas so much. But mine's a lot simpler than hers. I think she had like a folio or something that was underneath here. So I just did a basic pocket, and I used my this that I got off of Amazon, and I just did the tops of the tag with this. I'll leave a link to that in the description. So this background is just a printable that this is an image I think I got off of like the archive.org or something like that. More printable ledger paper. This is the beginning of a book, The American Edge. This is the one I got from the garage sale store. This is more paper that I colored with Tim Holtz and Ranger ink. It's just an envelope that I put in there. I plan on opening this up and making a pocket, and make a pocket here. Little envelope that I made and did some, what do you call that? I forget what you call it. It's not embossing. What do you call it? Here, I've got. Do I have any down here? Oh well, I can't think of it. It's a common name. I just can't think of it. And this is just one of the little Tim Holtz ephemera. I haven't got anything in here. I plan on putting like some writing paper or something in there. Another printable ledger paper that I probably got off Etsy. The other side of the envelope that I'm gonna open this side and make a pocket. The other side of that paper that I ink colored. More coffee dyed paper, ledger paper, and then coffee dyed paper that I put some stamps on. And the last signature page. I really love how everything came together, the colors and everything. So yeah, so what I'm doing today is I'm just going to be adding some pockets, simple pockets, because I don't know, I'm not familiar with doing anything really out there. And I think this is the page that I was going to add it to. And so I've just taken some book pages out of the book I got from the garage sale, and folded it in half. I love this stork. And so I just folded it in half, trimmed the ends, and glued it down. So I'm just going to ink around the outside. I'm using ground espresso. And I'm just going to go around the outside. I'm hungry. I didn't eat any breakfast and I'm starting to get hungry. Wouldn't you know it? I don't suspect this video will be very long. So that will be the inside of the pocket. Now I don't want to, I should decorate it. I should put a cluster on here, but I haven't gotten any made, so maybe I'll plan a day to do some clusters. I watched a video yesterday. A girl was making clusters. It was so pretty. And I was like, oh, I want to try that. So, yeah, I'm learning how to make clusters too. So, my thing up to now, and since I don't want to mess up that picture, I'm just going to put that here. And Camellia Designs, I learned that from her. I always like to just trim this little edge here so that it's not pointy. It's just a little rounding there. Yeah, I just love that. Gray heron. Handsome bird with pure white plumage and black legs and bill. I don't want to cover him up. I do have some like flowers and stuff that I could put on there, but I want to plan ahead. So basically all I'm going to do right now is just glue it in here. That's my goal purpose is today. I don't think that was the one. That's not the one that I was going to put this on. It was one that was like really obviously upside down. That looked really upside down. I love this printable. I love the colors in it. Was it this one that I was gonna? I think it was this one. Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my glue. And for this, I want to use my art glitter glue. I'm just going to go around the outside. So I've been using this little bottle of glue for a while now, and I have to keep filling it up. It just runs out so quick. So I was like, I think I would like to get a tip for this bottle of glue that I have this size bottle, and so I did purchase some. The only problem is that I didn't realize that it didn't come with the cap that you put on the bottle. You need the applicator. Yeah, so I gotta get one of those before I can use it. So just know that I got these off of Amazon. If you're wanting to switch to the metal tip for your glue bottle, make sure that you got to get the cap too. And the only thing that I could find was you have to buy this size glue to get the nozzle with the bottle, which is fine because I use this all the time, and I know I'd be purchasing more in the future. So I cut it a little shorter than the page itself, so I got to kind of center it, but that's okay. I kind of like that framed look. And there's a pocket that I can put something in. And so I think there was a few other ones in here that one's okay. That looked upside down. I'm probably going to do something on this page because it's sideways, but I can't quite, like this doorknob is blurred out. I just really love the color of that yellow, so I don't know. I may just leave it. So this is sideways, but if I put a pocket there, it's going to cover up pretty much everything, so I got to think about that one. I just love that, so I'm not going to mess with that one. Sorry, I may mumble every now and then. I know it was just those printables that I felt like were upside down. And I think I only, oh, this one. I need to do this one. I love that paper. I need to put something here. So, this could be writing space. I have these really, like, this is a really cool photo. I love this. I could just glue that over it. You know? Like, that would be really pretty. But it's bigger than the book, so I don't want to mess up the image. That came out of that encyclopedia that I purchased. Here's another cool photo that it goes this way. And I could cut that in half, but here's a portrait one. This is a really cool photo. This is Amritsar, India, the scene of the sacred lake or pool of immortality. That would be kind of cool there. If I trimmed that image, oh look, he's looking at whoever's taking the photo. Oh, there's some really cool photos on the back too. This is the Victoria Memorial, Calcutta, the Great Museum of Indian History. So it's a museum. I think I am going to trim this photo and paste it in there. I just really like that. So I need to get my ruler, my metal ruler, and I just recently reorganized everything. So it'll take me a minute to figure out what I've done with everything. I love, love, love this. I think I got this at Michael's. It is by Recollections. I just love it. And I think it came with spare blades. But I'm not sure where I put them. But it's real easy, like when it gets dull, it's real easy just to break that tip off. I just take these, I have these little pliers. They're like little jewelry pliers. I can't say it. Pliers. Yeah, right here. These right here. And I just easily break the tip off. Like, it just breaks off just like that. And then you got a fresh new blade. And I got it at Michael's. So, and I'm just going to trim this photo right along the edge. And that's really sharp now. Yes, be careful. It's very, very sharp. I'm going to trim both edges or sides. And then if I can paste it in with the words at the bottom, I will. Oh, look at that. Just does fit. So if I put a pocket in here, I'm gonna end up covering it up. So I'll just trim it. What I could do, actually, that would be kind of cool. Underwood and Underwood is the photographer, so I'll include that just in case. See, they got their name right there. Underwood and Underwood. This came out of an old encyclopedia, so I don't know about copyright on that kind of thing. So I'll go ahead and glue that. I'm going to use my stick glue for that. I love this glue. I get this off Amazon. I think it comes from Japan. It's called GLOO glue. It comes in a pack of 3. It's a little pricey, but I love it and it lasts a long time. It's just a little bit stronger than repositional glue. And it dries really fast, so you gotta be kind of quick. Oh, I didn't. I want to distress it. I'm gonna use ground espresso. This is old magazine paper. I love it. I don't think that they used as thick a paper in their magazines. Although this came out of an encyclopedia, I don't think they used this thick of magazine paper back in the day, like the 70s. I think magazines today are a lot thicker than they used to be. And I'll just re-glue it. Had I left that on there, it would have stuck. But because it's kind of like repositional glue, I was able to pull it off while it was still somewhat wet. And I am the world's worst at getting anything straight. So it's kind of good that this glue is like that. Maybe if I align it over here. There, that's better. And then I can just go back in and I'm always haphazard with my glue. So what I was thinking is I could take and I could trim this. Turn it around where I can see where I'm trimming. I could literally trim this down, right? And put a little bit of distress around it. I don't always use ground espresso. Sometimes I use vintage photo or color, but I do like the dark around the outside because it makes it stand out from the page. I really love that look. I did that on the cover to make it stand out more. Let's see where to go. I think it was in the second signature right after this. It's here. We're getting there. I can feel it coming on. We're close. Where did it go? Oh, are we in the third signature? I mean, which is amazing. I actually want to cover that with something. There we go. No, I don't always use ground espresso to distress the edges. But in this case, I do want this to stand out. So that if someone's looking in the journal, they'll be able to see. And maybe I'll put it, does it cover up anything? There is a person right there. But if I put it there, pocket's probably going to cover it. If I put it there, it could potentially get covered up with a pocket, although I don't like really tall pockets. So there it is. That's where I'm going to put it. And I will use my stick glue. I don't know how often I will do a video. I just love the idea of doing this wonderful craft along with other people. So I like that. That's really cool looking. We still got the guy looking at the camera. All right, so moving forward, is there anything else? See, that one's upright. There may be maybe one more that I need to cover. I felt like this one, it wasn't glued down well. It's not. So I just need to add a little bit of glue. Oh, what's under there? Some stamping maybe that I did? Yeah. I'm always playing around with stamps. My daughter had given me a whole bunch of wooden stamps, and so I'm not really sure what's all in there. And so every now and then, I run across some that I haven't seen, and I just like, oh, I'm going to play with them for a little bit. Yeah, I didn't really glue that down good initially. Look at that. Ooh, that could actually be a pocket, but it's glued everywhere else, so I don't want to tear it. So we'll just glue it down there. I know I want to add something to the top of this maybe. I don't know, but not today. I basically just wanted to make sure that everything that was upside down. Oh, I could do these today. I won't decorate them, but I could get them going. Maybe I'll decorate it. I don't know. We'll see. I definitely want to cover that maybe with something. And I think that's good. So let's go back to where that person is in the book, because I think they're someone local. In that newsletter, and probably don't want to share their photo for copyright reasons or whatever. I don't know. They may not like it, even though nobody's probably ever going to see my journal other than you guys, the whole world. I think these magazine covers are really cool. You know, these all look like romance novels. I could put some advertisement as a pocket. The page colors are different. It looks like it's, oh, look at that. Oh, I love that. I'm not sure what that's. Oh, sports magazine. It's advertising a sports magazine. There's another ad. This must be the start of another story. I actually I studied German language in college, and did pretty well. I'm not sure if I want to use one of these or not. I just feel like the paper's not the same color. What could I do there? This one looks like it might be a little bit lighter. Yeah, I like that transition. German publication imported and distributed by GOP International. This is pretty. I could probably I'd have to back it because this paper's really thin. Or make sure I get those lined up really good. We'll use this one. I like the pink in it. So I'm just basically going to fold this up. It's a little bit taller than what I like. So I'm going to bring it down to about right there. And I think if I double it, it'll be okay. Maybe. Let's see what the back is. It's some nice text. I could just use text and cover it up. Oh. I don't like to really be spontaneous, but I have an objective, and so I'll go ahead and actually, I love that magazine cover. I love the color. I did have to make it really short, so I didn't cut the tops of their heads. So we'll move forward with this one. I'll go ahead and trim it at that one location. I'm thinking I may need to make that a little bit thicker because that's going to rip easily. So I have some cardstock over here. Be a little too thick. I don't like making my journals real thick. Maybe I could use the back of the page. No. I have some junk mail here. I love these cards. That's kind of thick. That one's kind of thick. That one's kind of thick. I wonder if this has any. I love these pages. These are kind of thicker. No, not thick enough. Hopefully I didn't show my address on any of that. If I did, I'll have to trim it out. It's not really that thick. Those are, gosh, I didn't realize those were so thick. So I was thinking those aren't very thick. And then now that I'm wanting, here's one. This one's not quite as rigid. I mean, is what I mean to say. So I'll just glue this down. I am going to get me some Scotch Create glue the next time I go to the store because I want to save this. I actually have another supply of this glue in my cart. That's really pretty. But if I put that little indent, then it's going to cut that. So I'll stick with my original plan. Try not to be too complicated. That is one of the things that I learned just recently, is not to be too complicated with it because it's frustrating. And I want it to be fun, as I know it can be. So I don't think it's going to be very therapeutic if I make it complicated. I want to keep it fun. trick that I discovered, or that I thought of. And I mean, other people may do it. I haven't seen anybody do it. Is I use my Cricut roller to flatten it out instead of using the card. It makes it fun, a lot more fun. Very cool. Think about using junkjournal. You can just mark out your address. Very cool. I don't want to get that on my craft mat. Now, I put it in the drawer, so I should have it there the next time that I need it. Now, I do like to trim the edges of my pockets. So, I have this little handy dandy little, I think I'm going to do a medium size one. And it doesn't like to cut through really thick stuff, so it's not going to cut. So, I have this one. And I think it does a large, but that's fine. It's the only option I have. How funny. So I'm going to just do a little clip there. I got to get, I have, this I think is the 3/4 inch. Doesn't say. I think that's the 3/4 inch. Then I have the 2 inch. And recently I purchased the 5/8. So I still need to get the 1.5 inch and the 1 inch. And then I'll be a happy camper. They have square ones too. I just noticed on Amazon last night. They have square punches too. I think I'm just going to use this to trim that corner. Make it round. That's initially what I'm trying to do. Go ahead and distress it. I really should try some different colored ink. I like the transition between really light colored paper to really dark colored paper. And so I don't want to all throughout my, I need to glue that some better. I don't want all to set a standard throughout my journal with just the dark color of ground espresso. Somebody said the other day that it makes it look like the edges are burnt, and that is true. And I think that's why I like it. I didn't glue this edge down very good. I typically have to go back and do this because for some reason on my glue stick, I don't know why I'm scared to go to the edge of something that I'm gluing down. Probably because it's not cohesive, I guess is the word I'm looking for. But now it's all ready to glue down. I don't think it's going to be the right size though. Nope. So I need to okay, so I got to trim it right along the edge there. And to make sure I get it straight, I'm just going to use this little cutter thing that I got at Michael's. This is by, oh my gosh, the name's not on here. But it's where the Recollection and the Fiskars stuff is at. I also got their scoreboard. I wonder if the scoreboard has their name on it. Mm-mm. Nope, the name of the company's not on there. But they're both like right there with all the other like recollections and memory keepers, and hopefully I am not getting that too close. It took me so long to learn how to use one of these, you know, where the blade actually cuts. Not just this one, but my larger one. Very good. So I'm going to trim the corners again. And we'll just distress it. Kind of makes it look taller. I wonder if I need to glue the edges again. Nope. All right, so we're ready to paste it in there now. And he's going to be secretly hiding inside that pocket. I'll use my handy dandy little, not too much there. Okay, and it just needs to dry. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, I had some technical difficulties and my daughter called, and so I'm not sure how much of that was in the frame, but I do have the pocket in there now. I like how it turned out. I love the pink against the lighter color against the white. I probably will do some more decoration, just not this go around. And sorry about that. But I love what I did put together. I wanted to show you the book that I bought, the book cover that I fell in love with. And I was actually going to use this book cover on this journal. I took the inside out. And I had put some cardboard in the center, you know, to level it up, which I'm probably going to have to take it out because it barely closes. I don't know. It looks like an alligator mouth, and it doesn't have any pages in it, and that's because I made this too wide. So I'm going to go ahead. I'll take that out now because I know whenever I do use this cover, I will have to do that. So, but this is a really old book that I found at a thrift store, and I just loved the cover. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's the American Educator Encyclopedia. I don't know what the date of. I've got the pages. We may never know how old this book is, to be honest. But anyway, I was going to use it on this journal, but you can see that it's not the right size, so I just made the cover out of some cereal boxes for this one. And I don't even know that this would even be good for making a journal. I don't know what size paper I would have to use for this. This is that drawing pad that I bought. This is a a little bigger than normal. That would certainly, no, that still wouldn't work. Because when you consider, it could work. I'm happy to see that the width of this paper would work. And I mean, maybe even, it could work. So I would need a larger paper. I just love it though. I definitely want to use it. I just love the design. You know, these old encyclopedias and dictionaries, they all have beautiful covers. And so whenever I'm in a thrift store or wherever and I see these old books and they have covers like this, I'm going to grab it. I think I paid, $1 for this. Maybe $2. No, $2. This particular thrift store, her hardcover books are $2. Anyway, I just thought, oh, I love it. I know it was something else that I had mentioned that I would show you. But I don't remember what it was. Anyway, if you stayed with me this long, thank you so much. Like I said, I'm still learning. I'm kind of like a baby in the junk journal world. So I'm getting there. And I'm learning new stuff every day. So my goal is to go through here, add some pockets, and decorate it then, and add some ephemera, some vintage ephemera, maybe some lace. So I will video my journey, but I also have that librarian junk journal kit in my cart on Etsy, and I definitely want to start that right away. So, but this is my official first journal, and I'm excited. I feel good. I'm not crazy about how this flower is doing, so I might take that off. But I will be adding more stuff to the cover, obviously, along the way. But you will see this journal again in my videos. I will. Oh, that's what it was. I was gonna do that. Let me do that right quick. I definitely want to get that started. So all I have to do is I need to. How am I gonna do that? I know. I'll just bring this in here. So I just need to open the sides of this envelope. I was in such a hurry to get this put together because I have just been lamenting over it. And like I mentioned earlier, I had an aha moment yesterday that we don't need to complicate it. You know, there's no need to complicate it. It doesn't have to be complicated. And so, anyway, I forget where I'm headed with that conversation. I started out with a reason for saying that, but I don't remember now what it was. So I'm hungry. I need to go get something to eat. But anyway, there's no need to complicate it. You know, there really isn't. It's supposed to be fun. And this is something I need to remind myself every time I sit down to junk journal. It's going to take time for me to learn, you know, and to make beautiful things. And so I got to stop being hard on myself and worrying about things that I can do nothing about, because it's just going to take time to learn, you know. So, yeah. That was my aha moment. I'm going to glue this side down very gently. Oh, you know what? I should have. Yes. I always forget that. I have this little sponger I started out using the larger one, but I love using this little one for tight spots like this. And I notoriously forget to ink things before I glue them down. I also need to clip that so that we know it's a pocket. Oh, I know what I was saying. I lamented over this with what kind of papers to put in there, and yesterday I just threw things in here, just got it all together and sewed it and just put the cover on it because it was just taking way too long, and I was starting to get frustrated and discouraged, and I didn't want to make another journal that I didn't complete. And so I just threw this stuff in here, and that's why the pocket is not already done. So there's that. I probably, before I clip that, you know what? I know I'm going to want to put something behind there too, so I'm not going to glue that down yet. Silly me. Silly me. Did I not trim that already? I thought I trimmed that. So I must have trimmed the other one twice. Fun. Could have swore I trimmed them both. I don't know what I'm going to have for lunch. Maybe a cheeseburger. I'm going to make me a homemade cheeseburger. That sounds good. I always get really sleepy afterwards too. That's why I was kind of holding off until I did this video to eat. Because I get sleepy. And if I take that Aleve, my hip, then I'm definitely going to be fighting the snoozies. Oh, actually, let's go ahead and clip this and then we'll... I am not going to trim the corner right now. Fine. But anyway, thank you so much for watching if you stayed with me this long. And you will see more videos in the future as I progress through this journal. And I will be starting that other one probably real soon, maybe even today. But the main thing is I wanted to get this one put together and get started on it. I mean, I could technically say that it's done, but I do want to add stuff in there, pockets and stuff. So, and that's all part of my journey right now, is just learning all the beautiful different things that we can add to our journal to make it more comfortable and fun and usable, right? But I'm not very much of a journaler. But I love photos. I love, reminiscing, and, I do keep ephemera. Like when we go on vacation or something, I'm always keeping ephemera. My daughter gave me some ephemera for her trip to California this past week, which was really cool. Like her parking ticket and stuff like that. I was so excited. But I do love that kind of stuff to reminisce. And so I think junk journaling is just, I'm obsessed with it, like I said earlier. But thank you so much for visiting with me today and listening to me go on and on about this journal. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, or if it's late at night and you're watching, I have a good rest and a good tomorrow, and I will be back soon. I am on Instagram, but I haven't been posting regularly, but I'm getting there, and I will be posting regularly. Maybe I'll even do a Facebook page later on, because I do think that from time to time I will come up with some printables that I would love to share, and we need a place to go for that. So anyway, thank you again, and I will see you in my next video. Okay, bye.